Hey guys, welcome back to Homestead 215. I'm going to make a small winter sowing video. I know I made one earlier in the winter showing you the process of how to winter sow in jugs, but I also wanted to show you kind of what to do next. What do you do after you have all these jugs in your yard or in your garden? How to acclimate your plants, which basically means how to harden them off or how to get them ready and used to the weather, so that way when you take them out of those jugs, they don't just shrivel up and die because they're just, shocked by the weather when you transplant them. So this is just going to be a quick short video. I'm just going to give you some steps, a quick rundown right now. I made a longer video with a little bit more detail about this last year when I prepared my jugs to be transplanted. So if you want more detail, you can go back on the channel and I'll put that video link in the show notes. I'm only going to talk here in the beginning probably, and then I'll do kind of a time lapse of each day. This is going to take me 5 days to make this video because I'm going to show you for every day what your steps should be, what you should do next. By the end of this video, we'll be transplanting some of my winter sown items. Not all of them are ready. I've got a few that have to wait till it gets warmer out before they're gonna have much growth on them to be ready to transplant. But I'm gonna be doing some cold hardy options right now that can handle the colder temps at night and things like that still. On day one, you're simply just gonna remove the tape from your winter sow jugs. You can peek in them and open them real quick, but just close them back. I like to see what the progress is. Day two, open up the jug in the morning. This should be a shady day, or put them in a shady spot. I have chickens, so it's really hard for me to put them anywhere outside of my garden, just because my chickens will get them if I do, and my garden has hardly any shady spots, at least not enough for all of my jugs to have shade all day. So I actually have to move mine to a place where the chickens can't get them. At night, you want to close the lid back because they probably are not ready quite for those extreme temperatures at night. You don't need to put the tape back on, but just close that lid back. Day three, you come back outside in the morning, you open up those lids again. This time they need to start getting them a little bit used to the sunlight, so you want to move them into a spot where they're going to get part shade. And then this time you're going to actually leave them open at night. You need to get them used to the nighttime temperatures, because here in a couple days they're going to be out of the jug completely and they need to be getting acclimated to that. Day four, I actually take the milk jugs and move them to the spot where I'm going to transplant them. This again just kind of acclimates them to the exact spot they're going to be in to get used to the sunlight pattern throughout the day. Also, leaving them open throughout the day like this is going to get them acclimated to any wind or rain that's those spots get. And again, leaving that jug open all night long. At this point, you're not closing them back anymore. The fifth day, you can begin transplanting. My dog and our neighbor's dog are barking at each other. I think they've quieted down for now, so hopefully we'll see. So on day 5, every time I try to talk. Okay, it looks like the neighbor's dog walked away, so I think we're good. So on day 5, you can begin transplanting. Transplant on a shady day, because they're going to have a little bit of transplant shock anyway, because it does shock the plant a little bit to move it, and you don't want to make it any worse than it already is going to be. So shady day gives them a nice day to get acclimated before they're in that direct sunlight all day. But on day 5, you do want to take your jug and you want to water the whole jug, like really soak it down pretty good. Because as you pull apart those roots to separate your plants, those roots will pull apart much easier if they're really saturated. And then once you transplant them, you want to water the area really good too, because that way the roots will begin to pull down and really establishing themselves into the soil there. So that is kind of the quick breakdown of what the steps are to acclimate your plants and then transplant them. Every day I'll take a little video. I probably won't even talk. I'm just going to put some words up on the screen to remind you on day 1, do this. Day 2, do this. And I'll show you visually what to do. Here we go, starting with day 1. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you were able to follow along and get maybe some good notes or some good thoughts on how to get your winter sown plants acclimated to the weather so they can be transplanted. I had fun getting some of my winter sown plants ready to go and getting some of those transplanted. I still have more to do. I didn't get them all done for this video, but I'm just really excited to get the season going. I already cut off some leaf lettuce that my son and I shared the other night with we wanted some lettuce for our burger. And he said, "Mom, we don't have any lettuce in the fridge." And I was like, "Oh, I've got some of my winter sown jugs," and came out here and took a few leaves off for us to enjoy with our burger. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to the season. I'm looking forward to enjoying a good harvest here soon from all these plants that we've got transplanted. If you've done some winter sowing, whether it's your first year or not, or if you're thinking about trying it in the future, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys on what you thought, or what you think about this process. And I love winter sowing. I think it's one of my favorite seed starting methods. I will still start seeds other ways. I will still direct sow. I will still start seeds in my little mini greenhouse and indoors, but winter sowing is easily my favorite method of starting seeds. I feel like it has the most natural timeline for plants because they just grow right along when they would be growing as if they were in the ground, if they were volunteer plants coming up from last season's seeds. So I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, go ahead and throw a like on there. And if you guys haven't subscribed yet to my channel, go ahead and do that. And I'd love it if you'd share with my channel with other people. I just love to garden, and I'd love to help others learn a little bit more about gardening as well, and just homesteading in general. Thanks for watching. See you next time.